All right, Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shah, Basham Rakakadash. The one to the apostles, salute to you, brothers, teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. Now, this is going to be a quick video. I'm going to read one scripture here. Um, I've been meaning to do videos on the topic of you know, the laws and the fact that Yahweh Shai is actually going to be the one to save us. And one another scripture, man. The scripture says if you break one, you break all. So everybody's saying the law, if you actually go by the law, you'd be dead, meaning if you was to not have grace, then because if it was just based off how many laws can you keep, and if you think you can keep them perfect, you're going to find out that there's a lot of stuff that you break, and there's a lot of technicalities that go into it as well, which I'm going to put in another video, Lord willing, because there was a lot of things being said, um, and pretty much, these things, you know, it's like I said, one thing I noticed, right, is that the fringes thing comes up, and you notice, you know, individuals, they want to say all that, but they don't want to wear robes. They'd rather wear a t-shirt with fringes on and a baseball cap, and but you won't see them walking around, on the job in a long priest robe, you know. So, the way I look at it is as like it's the wearing the fitted hat with a t-shirt. It blends more than walking around with a straight up robe on with the fringes and the whole deal, and being on the job with the whole deal, which you got. If you got a certain job, you got a company uniform. You're not gonna have that job. Another thing that was said, right? Because I'm just gonna bring out some of it, was about having the laws written in your house, and it's the technicalities of what you control and what you can't control. Well, you don't know where somebody lives, the circumstances of that situation, and somebody could live in a place where if they do that, they're getting kicked out, they just breach their tenancy. And there's a lot of other things I want to do. I'm going to do another video on this, because the deacon, he had pretty much he mentioned the part about prophecy. He said great millstone are into a lot of prophecy. He started kind of coughing, and because he wanted to say something negative. He said, well, I big you up for that. He said, but the thing is with that, and then he didn't really, the words never come out, they never computed, because the scriptures clearly says to be occupied in prophecy. So this is a long video. This is one of those topics, that I've been meaning to do a video anyway. So let me carry on. Let me just read this quickly anyway. And this is Ezekiel 37 and 21. It says, and say unto them, thus saith the Lord power, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen, whether they be gone, and will gather them on every side, and bring them into their own land. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king to them all, and they shall be no more two nations, neither shall they be divided into two kingdoms any more at all. Neither shall they defile themselves any more with their idols, nor with their detestable things, nor with any of their transgressions. But I will save them out of all their dwelling places, wherein they have sinned, and will cleanse them. So shall they be my people, and I will be their power. And the Lord's going to have to cleanse the Israelites. And when you read Hebrews, it talks about the laws are going to be put in us. So, based off yourself, it's not the Lord's going to be the one to actually cleanse us. We're practicing, we're rehearsing the righteous acts. All of you, everybody that's talking about they're keeping these laws, you're actually rehearsing the righteous acts, because if you break one, you break all. It says it. You break one, you break all. How did you get around that scripture? You know, we keep these laws, but nobody's keeping these laws perfect, and that's just the facts. Okay, Ezekiel 37:24, and David my servant shall be king over them, and they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. Right. So on this side, most like another thing that come up was about the mixed fabrics and things of that nature. And you got to understand, like, even and this is what was going on in the Book of Acts. You know, there were individuals that you know they believed and there was they were brought in, and sometimes it took people time, to get to do things, even if it be get circumcised and all that, because your faith has to be built up. There was people that wasn't circumcised straight away. Does that mean they're gonna drop dead? Hell no. You know, Yahushua blotted, out transgressions. Hence why you got people that, like the male factor. You got people that will make it at the end. They've been going off their whole life, but then they believe in Yahushua, and that alone, was enough to have them, be um, you know, part of the elect, right? And it says, and David my servant shall be king over them, and they shall all have one shepherd, and they shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And the Lord's gonna, when we're in the land, we're gonna keep the laws perfect. The Lord's gonna bring us out from under the even, where we can keep these laws, and be made perfect, because you can't even keep them perfect in the bodies you're in. And you might say, oh, because you don't like Paul's writings. Well, Paul said, wretched man I am, but Paul, Paul wasn't the only one that couldn't keep the laws perfect. It was everybody else's, except for Yahweh Shai. So you gotta understand that. Um, Now, under this, the scripture says, "What our bread is defiled, we'll eat bread, defiled bread amongst the Gentiles," and all of that, man. And under Esau Edom, it says, "You shall go to your enemies for the want of all things." So, you know, Esau's pollute the air. There's so much going on out here that like you see moles, you can't go and smite them. You know, and you know what I mean. You need to get. We need to be rulership, man. You know, to be perfect. But how are we gonna get there? Through the grace of Yahweh Shai is gonna get us, over to that, into the kingdom, into the, and our bodies changed. It's Yahweh Shai that's gonna do that. You know, um, I'm gonna leave it there. I kind of want to say more, but I'm gonna do another video. This was just touching on some of the stuff I'm gonna go into. So this is just a quick video on it. Um, you know, but even the the certain arguments and all that, you know, and things of that nature, the mixed fabrics and all that, and certain things, you know, um, at the end of the day, man, and then you know what, see, but they'll say, oh, I don't like Paul, because the one individual he sat up there and said, well, you know, me and my wife watch your videos with Paul. You know, said if a woman should learn anything, should learn at home with her husband. But he would probably go, well, that was what Paul. You see, so this is what happens with these individuals. But one thing we do know is that if you check this out, is that in this video, the videos are all out there. I don't know how you could ignore them, but Yahweh Shai, through the grace of Yahweh Shai, is what is gonna save. Okay, and I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna come back in more in depth into what I'm saying. It was just kind of introductory into the videos, but there's videos out there. So with that, I'm gonna say shalom.